Hey, it's David Breslow back here with you. I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and the creator of Wired to Win. So stay tuned. I'll be back in a moment with today's mental toughness tip. Welcome back. Today, I would like to offer you three key questions. These are three of the most important questions I have asked clients over the years, and I'd like to offer them to you so that you can take a moment to ponder them. And ideally, if you can take out a sheet of paper or go to a notebook and write these questions down, you don't have to do it right now. You can come back and listen to this again. But if you can write these down and take 5 to 10 minutes to answer them, it could be enlightening for you and open up your eyes a little bit. So these are the three key questions. Question number one, what would happen to your game if you actually learned how to get out of your own way? What would happen to your game right now if you learned how to get out of your own way? So why do I ask that question? Well, over the years, it's a question I ask every client when we start working together. And at least 90 to 95% of the time, the response is, oh, I would play great, or something like that. Or I would play a lot better than I'm playing now. And that's really an enlightening question, in my opinion, because what it really says is that deep down inside, most golfers know that if they could get out of their own way, that they would actually play better golf and be happier and be more consistent, be more powerful, and all the great things that golfers want to experience. Now, how do we know this? Well, there's a part of us that already knows that we're actually the ones getting in the way. But instead of paying attention to that, what do? We look outside of ourselves. We go to the internet, we look for a bunch of videos, we look for a bunch of articles on the mental game, we look for more information, we go to workshops, we buy books, we do all this crazy stuff on the outside to try to help us play better golf. But you have this part of you, that deeper part of you that already knows if you could get out of your own way. And the suggestion there is that you know you're in your own way. So you already know that. So if you could get out of your own way, you would probably play a better game of golf. So that's question number one. What would happen to your game if you actually got out of your way? And that's right now. I'm not talking about 5 years from now, 3 months from now, 2 weeks from now. All three of these questions are for right now, today, this minute. What would your game be like if you actually got out of your own way? So that's question number one. Question number two is, what are you doing to get what you want? What are you doing to get what you want? Is what you're doing right now working? That's basically what that question is. Is what I'm doing right now working for me? And once again, when I ask that question, over 90% say no. Yet, what's really interesting to me is they keep on doing what's already not working. They keep going to the internet. They keep buying new clubs. They keep trying new teachers. They keep looking at new videos. They keep buying new books. And they're hearing the same and listening and reading the same things over and over and over again, thinking that, well, if it didn't work for the first 5 years, maybe it'll start working in the next 5 years. Well, that's a myth, my friend. It's an illusion. Look at your own experience. You've been doing it already, and it's not really working. So, is what you're doing now getting you what you want? If your answer is yes to that, then great, keep on doing it. But if you're like the high majority of golfers I know, the answer is no or not really, then why are you doing it? Why do you keep doing it? And some golfers will say to me, well, I don't know what else to do. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried a sports psychologist, I've tried reading the books on the mental game and peak performance and blah, 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 and it's still not working. Well, it's not about gathering information. It's about gathering the right information. And yes, I will step out there and be bold enough to say that Wired to Win, the program that I created specifically for golfers, is the right information. And that's all I'll say about that for now. So question number two is what you're doing really getting you what you want? And once again, I mean that right now, right here, right today. Not what you're going to do in the future, what you're doing right now. Is what you're doing getting you what you want? Be honest with yourself. If the answer is no, you really need to take a look at that. And you really need to stop repeating things that aren't working. What's the point? Isn't that the old definition of insanity? Doing the same thing time after time after time and expecting different results? Well, unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do. And that's just the way it is out there in the world. Question number 3. Does your current game reflect the time, energy, and money that you invest in it? Once again, in the high 90 percentile, answers that I get are no. This is a question I ask every single golfer I've ever spoken to. Does your current game reflect the time, the energy, and the money that you've invested in it? And again, this could be time reading books, this could be time going on the internet, time reading articles, the time it takes to look at more and more and more and more and more videos, and the energy that all that takes to do all that stuff, or the money you might have invested in a sports psychologist or an effective online program, or the books that you buy or the workshops that you go to, whatever it might be. And be honest about this. This again is a very present time question. Does your current game reflect the time, the energy, and the money that you invest in it? And like I said earlier, a moment ago, in the high 90 percentile, the answer is no. No. Well, that's a huge red flag to me. If what you're doing, if your game doesn't reflect all what you're putting into it right now, why? Why? What are you investing in? And do you take lessons? And I talk to a number of pros, and they will often tell me that they will teach something, and then the person doesn't go apply it. And then they get frustrated because their game isn't getting better. And so the stuff that you are investing in, are you applying it? Are you applying it honestly and earnestly? Are you really doing it, or are you just giving it lip service? So does your game reflect the time, the energy, and the money that you're investing in? Really be honest with yourself about that. So these are the 3 questions. What would happen to your game if you actually got out of your way? That's question 1. And question 2 is what you're doing now getting you what you want? Is it or not? Is it really? Is it a little bit? Is it not at all? What's the answer? And question number 3, does your current game reflect the time, energy, and money that you invest in it? Now, these are 3 really important questions. And if you will take 5 to 10 minutes and write these down and answer them, you don't need to write the great American novel. You can just write a sentence to 3 or 4 sentences as an answer to each one. And then really take a look at that. Let it sink in. And really allow yourself to be honest with yourself. And take a look in the mirror and go, hey, is what I'm doing really working? Am I just giving lip service to my game? Do I keep talking about that I need to do this and this and this and this, and I don't really do it? Do I know that my inner game is really not all that great, but yet I'll run out to the store and spend a few $100 on a new golf club and actually think that's going to make me better, and then get really surprised, 3 weeks later when my game hasn't changed all that much? Come on, be honest with yourself. Be really honest with yourself. If what you're doing isn't getting you what you want, then you really need to consider doing something different, doing something new, stepping out of the old, ineffective, habitual patterns instead of cranking about them, whining about them, complaining about teachers or coaches or mental game people or programs that you may have taken and might not have been very effective. Okay? There's a lot of different avenues out there. A good majority of them aren't that great, especially on the internet. Okay? Most people know this by now. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things out there. So be discerning. It's your game. It's your time. It's your energy. It's your money. If you happen to spend any money as an investment on yourself. So really pay attention to these 3 questions. They're very important. Dave Breslow, thanks for hanging out with me for a moment, and I will look forward to talking to you next time. To your best golf.